sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. We are live with the announcement of a signing. How are we doing, Rob? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Very random little 12:30 on a Friday drop, but yeah, good. Happy to be here.
Well, I thought, you know what, we've got to start going live straight away, and it just ticks the box off, and we can have a little say on the incoming, and we'll do it that way. Right? Should we get some music on this player? I've got a little video of him. Let's give him a little bit of a build-up. You know who he is, but let's give him an announcement. Let's give him some music.
Tell you what, he's a
Jesper
good-looking
Lindstrøm.
boy, isn't he? He's a good-looking boy. He's got a $1 million smile, and he's going to be very popular with the Everton female fans, I would assume.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, when a player looks good, you just think he's good, don't you? Like, you just think,
do,
oh,
you
you
do.
know what, he's got something
do.
about him.
You
He
do. I
looks
remember
like
the
a bit of
first
a
year,
stud.
Andre Gomez turned up, and the fella just looked like a supermodel. And his first season, he was unbelievable, wasn't he? Just a bit of class on the pitch, and yeah, okay, it went downhill after that, but yeah, he had that certain something about him, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a shame with Gomez with the injury because there was no doubt that he had the quality. He had the looks, he had the quality. And Lindstrøm, he looks like. I mean, you're a man that does a lot of research. Anything you've got on Lindstrøm? I mean, don't people. If anyone that's listening to this, like, there is a lot of bad stuff going out there straight away now, saying he's got no qualities whatsoever. But I think you need to go further back than Napoli.
Yeah, I think the only thing I saw, which was well, I suppose a good and a bad. He is a Liverpool fan. He has admitted that, but he also turned down Liverpool last year to sign for Napoli. Now, he said that was because he thought he'd get more game time, but I'm just going to ignore that point altogether and just say he turned down Liverpool. So that's all that really matters, you know.
I like that.
So I already like him.
That's a very good start.
Yeah, he's turned down the Red Lads, so yeah, good start. I can only get better. But yeah,
we can make him into an Evertonian.
Yeah, and obviously it's good business. The fact we have the option, it's not an obligation. So if he comes here and he shows the type of form he did at Brøndby and at Frankfurt, and we can get him, then it's a no-brainer. And if he comes here and it doesn't set the world alight, then, you know, it's cost us nothing, and we can just say, look, thanks, but no thanks. So it's a good deal. It's the type of deals we should be doing. We've wasted too much money over the years. And let's get him in. He should be hungry and ready to prove himself. Last year it didn't go well for him, so he should have a chip on his shoulder, and you know, he should want to do well for us. So I think it's a very good sign.
They did point that out in the interview. They said to him that they were straight up, it didn't go well at Napoli. And then he said, I'm hungry to put that behind me and show that I'm capable. He did mention, I mean, he's got a good CV. He mentioned he was really good in the Europa League. He won the Europa League. So it's all right, people pulling these stats out at Napoli and this, that, and the other, but why are you just going to be blind to what he did before he went to Napoli? Because that talent was there.
The other thing as well, Dan, is that it didn't go well for Napoli on a whole last year. Napoli had a really bad season last year, so it's not like they were playing amazing and he couldn't get in the team. Whatever happened at Napoli last year just went completely wrong. So it was obviously a tough time to join them as well and try to break into their team. I think they'd won the league the year before, and they had a really poor season last season. So look, sometimes moves just don't work. We've seen it before where players go to clubs, it doesn't work, and they come to us, and it just seems to be a good fit. So I wouldn't worry about the Napoli thing too much. Italian clubs typically don't spend loads of money, and they spent 30 million euro on this lad. So they must think there's something there. You know what I mean?
It won't be the first loan that we've had that hasn't clicked. I mean, Lukaku didn't play well for Chelsea, did he?
Yeah,
Lukaku
exactly.
didn't play well for Chelsea, and then all of a sudden he plays for Everton and he smashes goals in and goals in. He didn't do that for Chelsea. Pinar as well.
Exactly.
Pinar didn't really kick it where he was, and we got Pinar on loan, and look how good he turned out to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. And look, he's going to play. He's going to get plenty of opportunities. We desperately need pace, wingers, directness. So he's going to play. Where we got 38 Premier League. Let's say 45 games between all competitions. He's going to play 30, 35, 40 games next season. So, it's up to him now. It's up to him to get stuck in and, prove the naysayers wrong. And if he does, the Everton fans will take to him. We have the option, which I'm sure we'll take up if he plays well. And, it's a new start.
I think that's massive with the option to buy. I think that's clever business from Everton because we always want a loan where you get the loan and the player's not doing it, but he's got massive potential, and you think, right, we'll loan him and we'll try and make him the player that he's hyped up to be.
Yeah.
But then sometimes if you make him the player he's hyped up to be, and then you can't sign him, it's frustrating. I always felt like that with Danjuma. I mean, I know it went massively wrong, and I'm glad he's nowhere near us, but you knew even if Danjuma become a world beater, they could have him. We wouldn't get him. Right? This is a different situation.
Yeah, well, we've had a number of them over the years. I mean, you said Pinar. We had Arteta on loan. We've had lads who've come in on loan and we've been able to make it permanent and it's gone well. But I mean, we've had it the other way too. We've loaned. Remember Manuel Fernandes? We'd signed him on loan.
Yeah.
He was absolutely incredible, and then we couldn't buy him. Now he did end up on loan again a couple of years later, and it didn't work out. But I mean, if we'd have had the option after that initial loan, we would have took that option. So I think the option, as opposed to the obligation, it's a great bit of business. And you look at the signings we've made this year, there does seem like there's actually a plan, there's a focus, and there's some sort of strategy. So look, if this is the lad they've identified and they've said he's for us, then let's get behind him and give it a go.
He pointed out in the interview, he said that they've been interested in me a lot longer than just this window.
Yeah.
So he was obviously identified a bit back. Farewell obviously likes him, and I like that. They did it with a little man. They're persistent. They want this player. This player has got what they need, and that they're going all in for him. And I think Iliman is he's. I know we're going for players that haven't done it before we sign them, so it is scary on the point that they're not doing it, because people will say you're going to get what he currently is, but you'd like to think that they're coming for change. Do you know what I mean? They're coming to spot themselves back up.
There's two ways of looking at it, isn't it? I mean, if Ndai and Lindstrøm had have made the most of their initial opportunities, then they wouldn't be playing for Everton right now. So unfortunately, that's where we are at the moment. We've looked at these lads with potential, and maybe it hasn't quite worked out, and we're prepared to give them another chance and hope that we can get them back to their full potential. So it is what it is. If these lads kick on and do well, then it's a great bit of business for us. But if he'd have scored 25 goals at Napoli last year, and Ndai had have done unbelievably well in France, we wouldn't have been getting them this year. So look, there's two ways to look at it, isn't there?
No, you bang on. You bang on. If they're doing what they can do, we don't get them. So
Exactly.
in a way, you're fortunate. You're fortunate. You're getting these players on the low, which makes their value low, and it makes them
Yeah.
actually possible for us to get them. So we could be getting them at a really good price. Because you'd like to think that if Jesper Lindstrøm becomes the player that he was potentially going to be when he first joined Napoli, that it'd be
Yeah.
worth a lot more than 22 million.
Well,
So if he
that's
turns
it.
out to be the best, he can be, can't he, Rob?
So basically, what's happened here is I think Napoli signed him for 30 million euros, give or take, is about 26 million quid. So I think we've paid a 3 million loan fee, and it'll be 22.5 million if it goes. So that's about 25.5, 26 million. So Napoli are basically breaking even here. If this fella does well for Everton and they sell him, they're not even making a profit. They're just, cutting their losses. So that's still a good deal for us. It's not like they've signed him for 30 million and sold him for 50 million. We're the ones taking the gamble. We're paying 100% of his wages. We've paid a loan fee, and we have this option to pay, 22.5 million, which it's not used money, but it's not small money either. So it is an investment, and we just now have to hope that we see a return on that investment, and we get the best out of it.
But that is what we need to do. Bob Stevens says, keep your comments coming in. Looks a great signing. Speed. Wow, he has speed. And then Paul goes on to say similar. Been crying out for pace for years, and now we've finally got it. And we've got
Yeah,
skill added as well.
yeah,
Can't wait to see him in the flesh.
exactly. And I mean, if you look at the outlay, we haven't actually spent a whole lot of money. So these are very smart signings. I think 8 million from the lad from Villa, probably paid over 3 or 4 years. Loan fees for Ndai and for Lindstrom, and Jack Harrison again on a loan. So there's quality added there. We sold Onana, so we've made a few quid. There's quality added, and yeah, okay, there's options, but they're not obligations. So in terms of a pure profit, on the spreadsheets and account balances, it's all very, very positive for us this year. So, let's keep that positivity
Even
going, get behind the lads, and see what
even,
happens.
even the Jack Harrison thing, I know people, because we had him last season, just think it's a given, it's for granted, but you wasn't always going to get him on loan again. It's worked out very fortunate for him that it was easy. He
Yeah,
just come back. Leeds was happy to do it. We got him back on loan. Sean Dyche likes his work rate, and I think he's a good asset. I think Harrison wasn't good last season, by the way, but I think he'll be a lot better this season. He looked sharp in the friendly at Sligo, so I think
well, that's
Harrison's
it.
a
I mean,
good coup.
I like Harrison. If anything, at least he works hard. You know what you're getting out of him. Yeah, he needs to improve and quality and numbers to his game, absolutely. But again, he's not cost us anything. He's another body in a position that we need bodies. And if Leeds had have got promoted, again, he wouldn't be here. So yeah, look, I mean, I have no issues with Jack Harrison coming back whatsoever. So yeah, look, we've got three lads who can play out wide now, and it puts pressure on the lads who are already there, the likes of the McNeils of this world, who are going to have to put 7 and 8 out of 10 performances in every week, because they know that McNeil starts every week regardless of how well he plays, but he's going to be under a lot more pressure this year, and that's only a good thing. That's going to make him raise his game, and at the end of the day, the more lads we have contributing to goals and assists, the better it is for us. So yeah, very positive signings, I think.
I know Jesper Lindstrom is very versatile. He can play on the right, the left, and probably attacking midfield. But where do you see his main position that he
I think he's gonna play out wide. I'm just thinking of the way we play. I don't see us changing. I know we messed around with 4-4-2 a couple of times last year in the cup to Luton, I recall it. It's not. Let's be honest. It's not going to be the way, is it? We're going to play with one up front. That's yet to be determined who that might be. Whether it be Calvert-Lewin signs a new deal, or whether he goes and we give Chimiti a chance, who played very well. I was at the game against Sligo, and he was really good. Um, or whether we get somebody else in. But I think he's going to play out wide. I can only see us playing 4-5-1. So he's going to be right or left for me. Hug the touch line, pace, get us as wide as possible, get balls in the box, kind of get us back to the dogs of war. Lumping balls into the box, centre forwards throwing themselves. Um, I know Ndai can potentially play the number 10 role, so I see Lindstrom as an out and out winger.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people are saying he's a number 10. That's his main position. But well, some of the goals that I've seen him score in the clips, it's from the right hand side. It's counter attack down the right hand side and then cuts in and then runs towards goal. So you've got to remember, last season Harrison wasn't that good, and Ashley Young come in, and Ashley Young pushed Harrison out the squad because our second right winger was Ashley Young, and Ashley was playing over Harrison. Harrison was on the bench, and Harrison had to earn his way back in to try and get past Ashley Young. Yeah. That's not good competition. Ashley Young should be nowhere near that right wing spot. So now we've gone and signed Lindstrøm, who, like you've just said, would say play right wing and competition with Harrison. And that is real good competition on the right hand side. Exactly. And that's strong competition. I'm happy with that. I really am happy with that. And then the number 10. So we've got Harrison and Lindstrøm on the right hand side in competition with each other. The number 10 position is Decore. We've now got Iliman. Iliman is in competition with Decore, or Decore could be dropping back into the centre of midfield, and we might see McNeil in competition with Iliman. This is the good thing. All these players are versatile. They can all play the 10 left or right. So Dyche has got good options here, hasn't he? They are very versatile.
Absolutely. And there were times last year we were thinking maybe McNeil could play the number 10 because he's not lightning quick, but he does have a decent left foot on him, and we saw a couple of his goals last year from outside the box. So I think what it gives us is options. Instead of putting the same 11 out there every week and hoping for something to change, it gives us real options. If a lad is not performing, he comes out of the side for a while. If he's maybe not doing well on the left, you give him a chance on the right, you give him a chance in the middle. We can mix it up a little bit. I expect to see more rotation of the front three this year. I don't know. I think Schmidt will get more minutes. I'm not sure it'll be. I don't know what's going to happen with Beto, but I don't think it'll be Calvert-Lewin, McNeil. The way it was last year was basically the same three every single week they were fit. I think there's going to be a little bit more rotation this year. We're going to have to give these lads a bit of time because they are young as well. So I wouldn't expect Ndai and Lindstrøm. And I'm never going to ever attempt to pronounce young Tim's name from Aston Villa because I'm just going to make a fool of myself. I wouldn't expect these lads to come in and hit the ground running. So I think we're going to see them in and out and in and out and in and out. Ghana Gay will be a huge help, I expect, for the new centre midfield player. And, they might be able to come on with 20, 30 minutes to go, play some of the cup games, play some of the games when we're hopefully 2 or 3-0 up, hopefully, please God. So, look, bodies is what we need. And, look, I'm very positive about it all. Very positive. And as I say that, I'm going to grab the... I'm going to grab the charger for the laptop because my battery's dangerously low. Yep. So I will be back to you in 2 seconds.
There's a few comments here. I'll interact with them while you do that. Don't worry. Emma said, what the fuck, lads? Probably because we're going live at this time, or probably because of the comment underneath. I have to knock out the copyright after him. Yeah, I think we'll sort that out. I do think we'll sort that out. I wouldn't worry that he said that he supports Liverpool because he won't after he's played for us and falls in love with our fans. And a very good interview as well, by the way. Very, very good interview. He says he's keen to stay. They said, what's your mission? My mission is to come to Everton and make sure that they take me on, that they sign me. He's got to play well to do that. We was talking about positions and stuff like that, and Paula said, I can see McNeil being the number 10. Yeah, I can as well, because often he played on the left and cut it to number 10. And Harrison in his favourite position. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. It's good that we've got those options, though, Paul. Do you know what I mean? It really is good that we've got options. And I think in the game, you can see them switch. I think, for example, if McNeil is playing on the left, say we play a 4-2-3-1, and McNeil is playing on the left, McNeil cuts in, then the number 10 can go out wide. Say Iliman can go out wide. I'd like to think that there's going to be a lot of rotation, which will make it harder for teams to follow our players, and we'll get players in space. That's the aim, though. I think Dyche has got to be very clever because I think if we play a 4-2-3-1, McNeil on the left, Iliman in the centre. McNeil cuts in, Iliman can go out wide. You've got to be in cohesion here. Harrison's on the right, he can move to the left and switch with McNeil. And then the opposition are not going to be able to read what's coming. And I'm bloody excited about this. This player, and I know some people are saying, he's not been that good. But I know that it said Arsenal and Liverpool wanted him for 50 million. Do you know what I mean? It's not, that doesn't go away. It really doesn't go away. And as a fan, as Rob says, we need to get behind these players. We really do need to get behind these players and give them a bit of time. Give them a bit of time. That's the thing as well, because we're kind of their mentors, ain't we? We're their Mr. Miyagis. We've got to try and coach them and get behind them and turn them into the gem that they can be.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's what it's all about. We touched on it earlier. This guy was highly rated. Liverpool were after him. He was signed by Napoli for huge money. Italian clubs don't spend money. They saw this guy and thought they could buy him and sell him later on and still make a profit on him. So if they spend 30 million on him, they're thinking they can get 50 million from him. So the potential is no doubt there. It just hasn't worked for whatever reason. And, this is a fresh start for him. I did see him in his interview talking about the new stadium. So maybe he's thinking this is potentially longer than a 1 year thing. Maybe he's already hoping to stay. Who knows? We don't know what those discussions are. Maybe it's been, look, we can't afford to buy you right now, but if you come here and you do well, that's going to happen. So maybe he's looking at longer than 12 months. But
he said that, Rob. He said on the thing. He said what's your aim? He goes, my aim is to make sure they sign me on that contract. In basic words, he said, like,
so
my
he's
aim is
already
to make
looking at
sure...
playing a Brandymore Dock. So for him to play at Brandymore Dock, he needs to play well at Goodison Park. So that's all the motivation this lad needs, and that's only going to be a good thing for us.
And he says he's hungry to do it, and he says he fits into our plans. And we haven't got speed as well. So if we do need speed, he's the main man to look at, because McNeil, cracking player, not known for speed. Harrison, cracking player, but not known for speed. So he probably is our only winger with speed. So I think he'll be very usable.
God, I can't wait.
Is this true? Is this true? That's not true, is it?
I haven't seen
it.
I
broke his leg.
I haven't seen it. I did see the comment, and I had a quick scroll on Twitter. I've seen nothing about it, and I'm in a couple of WhatsApp groups with the Irish Toffees and Toffee TV and the like, and
they would have said, wouldn't they?
I've seen nothing. So hopefully, Emma, it's not true. Hopefully, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see if anything's released on that one.
No, only good news. We have Jesper Lindstrøm, people. We have done it. We've got him. Loan option to buy. Cracking business. So far, it's a really happy window, because we got Timo Robenham. And don't forget Timo Robenham. A lot of people act like that was just a PSR thing, but he was in the England under-21s. Aston Villa, the hype behind him was incredible. When we had the Aston Villa fan, he says he is a real talent, but he just hasn't done it when he's played in the first team. But he's definitely got something. Timo Robenham, he played in the friendly, and apparently he was really good in the friendly.
Yeah, I tell you what I found interesting as well about him. Again, I'm never going to try to say the name because I'm just going to sound ridiculous. But I've got a friend who is a QPR fan, and I think he was on loan there, not last year, the year before, the last 6 months. And they said he's a real prospect. They said he's big, he's strong, he's good on the ball, box to box, plenty of energy. The Championship is a very, very tough league. So, again, positive things to hear. Look, it didn't work out at Villa, but Villa are in a different headspace than Everton are. They're in the Champions League. His minutes there are going to be extremely limited. And he's going to want to prove himself. He's going to come to Everton. He's going to hope to get into that first team. Gana Gay's not getting any younger. He's got a year, maybe two, to learn from Gana Gay, come in and out, rotate, and then that spot needs to be his. When Gana Gay moves on, or when he retires, or whatever happens, that needs to be his spot. So, yeah, look, competition, it's only a good thing.
Very good path as well. We know. I honestly think James Garner's got to step it up this season with Onana leaving as well. There's a bit of competition, like who's the man? Because we had two similar players, James Garner and Onana, and then there was always who's better, James Garner, Onana, who's better in that position. Now there's just James Garner, so he's got to be the man. Sometimes if you're playing two sitting central defensive midfielders, you'll have James Garner and Garner Gay, but would like to think Robenham can be a real competition for them too. There's times that we might bring in Phillips, I don't know, but we'll see on that one. But I'm still, do you know what? I do want someone more experienced like Phillips to come in to completely cement that centre midfield, like you're not sure, but I do like a Robenham. I do like Garner. I do like Garner Gay, and Tagore can come and drop in that position. So it's not that bad, is it, Rob? It is decent at the minute.
We're still linked with others. We're linked with the Irish lad O'Brien, centre half. Which
Oh,
if
which,
Tar-
please.
if Tarky has broke his foot, then I'd like to see that one.
Really.
O'Brien and Brandweight at the back. Oh God, that keep me awake at night. Jesus, that's unbelievable. We're linked with
Beast.
Nanto from Leeds. That's
I'm
another
waiting on
winger,
that. Yeah.
another bit of pace. So all of a sudden the team looks completely different. I would like a bit of clarity on the Calvert-Lewin situation. It's always handy to know who's going to be playing up front. But as I said, I attended the Sligo game. Um, and okay, League of Ireland is nowhere near the level of the Premier League or even League One for that matter. But these lads are halfway through their season. They are halfway through their season. They are fully fit. So it was a good test for them. And Schmidt come on, and Schmidt, honestly, I thought Schmidt was brilliant. His finishes were fantastic. I'd like to see a bit more of him this year. I think towards the end of the year it was going that way anyway. He was starting to come on ahead of Beto the last 6-7 games. So he's got a real chance this year. And obviously depending on what happens with
What about
Calvert-Lewin, we might need to bring one in as
what
well.
about Keane
So
as a striker? He's got
I
a
did see the
rocket shot.
goal.
And
I saw the
isn't it?
goal. Unbelievable. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Keane is one of the. He's a bit like the lad. I don't know if you've seen the lad on Twitter. He's about 30 stone. He can barely move, but when he kicks a
Yeah.
ball,
I've
it's
seen the
just
video. I know
bang, top
exactly who you
corner
mean.
every time.
Chest it down,
So
ping.
he seems to be able to hit it, but yeah, I'm not quite sure his strength would be, running with the ball at his feet. But we'll see what happens.
I don't care what Keane does. But fair enough. He has scored some. Crystal Palace, he scored a vital goal for us to keep us up.
Great finish again.
I think it
Yeah,
was against Tottenham. Was it Tottenham that he scored that
yeah.
screamer?
My God, what a goal that was!
Belter
And it
against
was funny
Tottenham.
because
Yeah, he does it.
that's the one where everybody just left him with the ball. They were like, sure, what's he gonna do? And he just kept going, kept going, kept going. And then it was a bit like the remember the
Jagielka
Damari
in the
Gray.
derby.
Well, do you remember the Damari Gray goal against Arsenal? I think it was the
Yeah,
same
posting
fan on
it. I
Sky
remember.
Sports
Yeah,
as behind the goal, and he kind
yeah.
of jumped up before I hit the net. Incredible, but yeah, he can hit a ball, that's for sure. But ideally, I would like to see Michael Keane out the door, really. But we'll see what happens.
Do you know what though? I really do think that our strikers haven't earned our support yet. Calvert-Lewin he took him ages to get going last season, and he scored like a couple at the end, 5 or 6 at the end of the season. But how long did it take him to undo that tap that he says now the tap's running? Beto, I think Beto could be a first season. Takes a while for him to get going. The thing is about Beto, we all know his runs look a little bit dopey. His decision making looks a little bit dopey. But I do think Beto was someone that will give everything, listen to Sean Dyche, listen to the coaching staff, and he'll take everything on board and he'll do his best he can to try and improve on all the stuff that's not going right for him. But he's definitely strong. He's good in the air. And you think of the goal against Newcastle, he's got that power drive run. So even if we don't move Beto on, I do think Beto can be useful if coached right. And then Schmidt, we spoke about Schmidt as well. Schmidt, I think he's going to blossom this season. So I don't think the striker situation is that bad. If Calvert-Lewin goes, I think we'll bring someone else in. So it feels good in that sense, Rob, because for a fact now, we're sitting there thinking, Calvert-Lewin, if you sign the contract, we've got you, we'll get behind you. If you don't, we'll get rid of you and we'll bring someone else in. Mope is a bit of a different situation.
Yeah,
I think we're okay on the striking for.
Yeah, I mean, look, I suppose the issue is that nobody's perfect. Like Calvert-Lewin, if he stays, he may leave for free. If he stays and signs a new deal, is he going to be fit? Beto, look, I know you've always backed Beto from day one. To be fair, whenever I used to give Beto a bit of stick down, I'd be the first one to jump to his defence. I'm not sure about Beto. I think he's an option off the bench. I don't think he's ever going to be worth what we paid for him or what we've agreed to pay for him, considering we haven't even started paying that yet. I think if we got an offer close to what we've, brought him in for, I think he would be sold. The issue is I don't think we're going to get that offer. So I would keep him as an option. Schmidt, I'm kind of excited for. I didn't see a lot in Schmidt last year, I must be honest, but I kind of thought maybe should have went on loan, but I think he needs more minutes this year. There's no point keeping Schmidt around the squad this year and giving him 5 minutes every week. If he's going to hang around, let's give him some time. Maupe, as far as I'm concerned, is gone. He's out the door. yeah, I've no time for Neil Maupay whatsoever, to be honest with you. So again, he's one I'd let go for nothing. He's only got a year left on his deal anyway, so we're probably going to get 3 or 4 million quid max. I'd let him go for free. I'd cancel his contract. Also, I saw the Brentford's new signing. So Brentford didn't sign him because they signed somebody else. He has torn his meniscus, so they are now back in the market for a striker. And I do wonder whether they'll come back from Maupay. Even if it's just another loan and then they take him on a free next year, they just agree to pay his wages. But I'd have Maupay out the door, to be honest with you. I have no time for him at all. So we'll see what happens with that one.
Yeah, you're right. I think there's still loads of business to be done. I think we've got to see what happens with the Patterson situation for our right back. We've got to see what happens with Holgate. Michael Keane, I think, might stay, especially if Tarker's injured. The centre of midfield, I think we might bring an extra body in. Will we get Nonto on the left as backup? And what's going to happen with the striker situations? But for now, like I say, I'll drop him on again. This is it now. We're only dropping an hour on this, but I'm going to put him on the screen again. I love him. I've got a feeling he's going to be like Kevin Morales. I'll tell you something. I'm really excited. You see the best in the players, and if they don't meet that bar, then fair enough. Just accept it, but give them the best chance. And I'm behind this player. I think he's going to be cracking. He does, like I say, I think he is going to be a proper player. He's got speed. He's definitely got speed, and we need speed down that right hand side. Good option for counter attack, isn't he, as well? I think when Damari Gray went, we didn't have that type of player, but we've got one again now, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean,
Jesper
he's,
Lindstrøm.
you know, this is the thing with your loan players. They always say don't get too attached, don't they? So don't go getting his name in the back of your kids' kits. Don't do it. But get behind him, and if he signs,
tomorrow.
Get the name next season. That's when you do it. Get it next season. But come on, please God, we need a bit of pace. I just can't wait to sit down with a cup of coffee or a can of beer or whatever and see somebody run at people. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Really, I'm so excited, because Iliman, his game is to draw players in. The ball sticks to his feet. So Iliman, literally, that's his main strength. Is the ball sticks to his feet. So he'll entice players to come into him, and then he'll go past them. That's his strength. So we're going to see. Goodison fans, by the way, need to change your little style now, because we don't like players that hang on to the ball. We've got players that are going to take risks on the ball now. And I think last season the problem is we was very predictable because we didn't take risks on the ball. And often when you take a risk on the ball, it's when something different happens. It's when you score. It always is what happens. If you're say in that number 10 position, Iliman takes a player on, that other team are unbalanced, unset, opens up for the striker, opens up the winger, you score. So I think we've got players now where we didn't have last season. It was just pass, see if we can try and pass a goal, which we never seem to do that much. Now it's going to be, Jesper Lindstrøm, run at them, open stuff up, we can score. Iliman tries to take a few players on in the 10, opens things up, we can score. Nonto, if he comes on the bloody left, oh my days, I'm going to be super excited. He's going to be driving at them. We know what he can do. I'm excited. I'm losing my voice already. I'm that excited. I think we've got some. We had no spark players. When you're watching a game last season, Rob, and you're watching it and you think, who's going to show the bollock in this game for me? Who's going to do something different? Because that's what wins a game. Who's going to try something different and just say, I'm the man? We didn't really have the players to do that. Harrison was safe. McNeil was safe. I'm not saying the crap, but they didn't do this. I think now we've got Iliman that's going to try something different. They want to be the spotlight. Iliman, we've now got the other lad, Lindstrøm, and we could get Onto. Could even get a new striker. It is exciting. It is.
Yeah, it feels like a new start, doesn't it?
Rob, we sat here. Yeah, we sat here in the transfer window not long ago for 2 hours.
Yeah.
One in the transfer window. So
yeah.
This is exciting. It is exciting.
No, it does. It feels like a fresh start, and it feels like an actual, I suppose, plan. I don't think players are just being pulled out of thin air. And yeah,
best age ever.
All I care about is a bit of excitement. Nobody likes sitting there on deadline day and looking at other clubs sign players, and a few lads in the door. A bit of excitement on a Saturday at 3:00, something to watch. And yeah, it's all good. So please God, it's a nice, comfortable season with a couple of really impressive performances and standout players, and no drama. We get through the last season at Goodison and we move on to Bramley-Moore Dock, and we start rebuilding this club.
Keep it going. Farewell. Farewell. We're a bit greedy now because we get a player in and we just like take it for granted and like, no, we want another now. Move on to the next one straight away. That's literally what it's like. Today, Jesper Lindstrøm's announced, which we're all incredibly happy about. And we're not like, oh, I'm happy with that now. That's it. We're done. We're like, no, non-toe now, please. Next. And no, Calvert-Lewin sort the situation out. We want a striker. No, we want a centre midfielder. No, sort out the right back position. And normally we don't do nothing. So there's a lot being done. I am so happy. We'll see. There might be a Nonto announcement soon. Who knows? That could be the next one. Nonto could be coming our way.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a difficult deal because they want paying. So that won't be a loan. That would be an outlay. I suppose it'll be about the structure of the deal. Leeds want to get promoted this year, so they're going to want some cash up front. Plus, they will have got the bulk of the parachute payments last year, so they're going to want paying. But if you recall last year, Nonto, I know he ended up getting back in the side, but he caused a lot of troubles for Leeds. They had to leave him out of the squad. He threatened to go on strike. And I would suggest that the agreement there was, look, stay one more season. And if we don't get promoted, you can go. I think they're going to have a very hard time to keep hold of him this year. So I feel a lot more confident we'll get that one. We'll get that one over the line.
Yeah, with what Leeds fans were saying, he's definitely going to go. It's just whether Everton can meet the financial, put the stuff on the table. What will get him, I don't know. It's going to be
it might be 10. It might be 10 million up front or 15 up front. Who knows? But the Onana money's there, so look, at least we had that option now.
I know. I'm well excited. We've done all this, and it doesn't even feel like we've spent the Onana money yet. I don't know. There's just so much more business that could be done, and I'm not hearing that we're done. I mean, I Benj from the Bullings View, good lad. He does stuff with the Bobble, who's quite in the know, and he says that we're centre midfielder now and another winger. So there's plenty more business to be done, even though we're doing cracking business already. Going to drop the ball now, Rob. Last words. Are you happy?
Yeah, very happy. As I said, look, just looking forward to sitting down on a Saturday and watching somebody who gets the ball and doesn't turn inside and doesn't turn backwards. Somebody who just sees green ahead of him, gets the head down and runs. And he'll have all my support. So yeah, very happy.
Yes, but Lindstrøm, everybody, get behind the lad. Can't wait to see him play for Everton. Dropping the banner. We'll be coming shine down at Everton. On in farewell. So he's won.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run.
Get on the street, we'll be celebrating. I really